Hey guys, welcome to the Sunday video. I hope everyone had a great weekend. We got a few different things going on today. We're going to be doing another giveaway for 500 subscribers, 500. So I'd really appreciate you guys' help if we could make that happen. So make sure you like this video, share the video, drop a comment down below, and I'm going to start giving away some decals. So it's kind of hard to see on the packaging because they're white and the cardboard backing is white, but the decals that I just had made look exactly like our little intro clip. I'm going to put it right here one more time. They look just like that, so you can stick them on your bumper, whatever. All you got to do, give me a comment down below and tell me what you did to help us reach our 500 subscribers. Did you share the video? Did you like the video? Did you tell someone about it? And I'll send you a decal. All right, so thanks for your help with that. Today, we got a couple different things going on. We're on our way into town right now because my uncle actually purchased a new car, and we're gonna be talking scan tools just a little bit. I'm gonna be looking at his car for him. So we have a couple different things going on today. It's starting to pick back up at the shop, which is a really good thing, especially this winter. It's been absolutely brutal. It's just everything kind of slows down, and you think it would pick up in the winter because people be sliding around, smashing into things. The cold wreaks havoc on your vehicle, but it doesn't. So now that it's spring, it's starting to pick up a little bit. I worked yesterday. I actually got a really good ticket. I got a car that was just a walk-in appointment, complaining about brakes, and I got a timing belt, a water pump, four-wheel brake job, wheel bearing, valve cover gaskets, all in this one car. So that was really cool. If you watch the Milwaukee Ratchet video, I said that they kick back. Sometimes they'll pinch you. Well, yeah, see that? That's what happened. So that feels great. Anyway, so we are on our way into town right now. We're going to be talking scan tools a little bit tonight. My uncle just bought a new car, and I'm going to show you guys what it is. I'm really excited about this car. We're going to scan. He's been having a couple starting issues, and if we can figure that out, we're going to go for a little drive in that. So I'll catch right back up with you in just 1 minute. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that. We got a 350Z. I love the color. I love the wheels. This thing is nice. God, I love these cars. Oh. I don't know why they make the scan tool box so big, but this is the Genesis scan system. Big old box. That big box for that. So we're in the Z. Sounds good, right? And this is the scan tool we're going to be using. This is the Genesis by OTC. I love the Genesis scan tools. They're the same company that makes scan tools for Mac, so they're generally a little bit cheaper, and you get the same scan tool. So we're going to do a system scan on this. Unlike your normal small little scan tool, this thing can give us freeze frame data and live stream data, so it's really nice. What I'm going to be checking today is the issue we had with this car is that it had full battery power, would crank over, but it just wouldn't pop off. This is the VQ35DE engine that came in these 350Zs, and I know they've had issues with cam sensors and crank sensors. So basically, if the engine can't tell you where the cam and crank are in relation to each other, it's not going to start. So we're going to scan this first, just do a full system scan and see if we can figure anything out. We're in the 350Z shooting you another little review. I'm pretty stoked. It's not often I get to shoot 2 reviews in 1 week, but I did the system scan. We couldn't find anything weird on the data list. Like I said, woo! I know that these things had issues with cam position sensors, so I'm gonna do a little more digging into that this week. Otherwise, we're just gonna go ahead and enjoy this thing and shoot a little video. I've actually never driven a 350Z, and this is a car I've wanted to drive for a really long time. So if you didn't know, a long time ago, probably 2 years ago, I had a 97 Nissan Maxima. So the Maxima had the precursor to this engine in it. It had a VQ30. Ever since I had that Maxima, you know anything about Maximas, they were damn quick cars. At one point in time, it was the fastest sedan in the country. So the Maxima had the VQ30, which is a 3-liter version of this engine group, and that motor didn't have variable valve timing or anything like that. So what do you think happens when you take that engine, you modernize it, you give it variable valve timing and a ½ liter more displacement? Well, it becomes more fun. So the Nissan Z has a huge following in the States, and it basically was a super affordable sports car that people could get into, right? And you got a great platform here. You got a low slung design, they sit low to the ground, they handle well, it's rear wheel drive, and they've always had kind of peppy little engines in them. Started out as Datsuns when they came to the States, and like I said, it was kind of a long hood, short deck, affordable sports car. And then the Z's history continued, and they came out with the 300ZX, which a lot of people know that's from the JDM twin turbo glory days, and that kind of got away from its roots. It was a little more expensive, it was a little bigger, it was a little heavier. And then in the early 2000s, Nissan came out with the 350Z, and it kind of got back to where it was. It was a little bit cheaper again, and it obviously didn't have the twin turbo goodies or anything like that, but it was a great platform for anyone looking to get into the enthusiast community, into the auto sport market, because it was, like I said, it was rear wheel drive and it was peppy. These things aren't the fastest things you're ever going to drive, but much like Honda's engines, like I said, when I reviewed that Civic Si, they just have a certain personality to them. And ever since I had my Maxima, I'm a VQ believer. This family of engines, they're just a lot of fun to drive. They're not boring at all. They're just great. And so I've been, like I said, I've been dying to drive one of these Z's. And now we get that opportunity. This car belongs to my Uncle Mark. Huge thanks to him for letting me drive it. I told him I'd check it out, scan it for him, do a little bit of work, try to figure out that no start issue if he let me shoot a review of his car. So, as common as these things are, it's kind of shocking that I haven't reviewed one of these on the channel yet, but we're getting right into it. So, like I said, this car, this is a 2006. There were a couple different renditions of this car. The early ones, they all had the 3.5, but this is the 3.5 DE engine, and then later on, I believe 07, don't quote me, they added rev up. Do a little roll on. And the rev up was just like a rev matching feature, and rumor had it that it was developed as they were developing the 370Z, which is the car that came after the 350 was discontinued. So, and I haven't driven a 370 either, but the 350Z is a very popular car, and I think for good reason. You start looking at the outside, these things look damn good. This one is pretty much stock. It's got a K&N intake, it has N-key wheels, it's lowered, and it's got exhaust. Let's see if I can do a shift and let you hear the exhaust a little bit. And this thing gets up and goes. It's not the fastest thing I've ever driven, but it's right in that sweet spot. Like I said in the Corolla XRS video, I think a lot of cars now, the numbers on paper do an injustice. You see a car, this thing makes about 300 horsepower, to the crank, so you're probably looking at 280 to the wheels, somewhere around there, and that doesn't sound like much, but this is a torquey V6, and you get north of 500 horsepower, and it's hard to use that power without getting into trouble. So this is like, to me, this is like the sweet spot, and this chassis so far is great. Again, like I said, this car is lowered, but it is extremely twitchy. It is an extremely twitchy car. The handling is fantastic. It's rear-wheel drive, which I personally love. When I think of a 350Z, I kind of, to me, in my brain, it's like a poor man's Porsche. It kind of has that same feel. It's a larger V6. It's extremely rev happy. The thing is instant. You get your foot into it, it's instantly skyrocketing in the RPMs, and it just has that same feel, right? A lot of those Porsches, if you're in the lower models, don't have a ton of horsepower. You've seen Steven on the channel, he had the F100. His dad's got a 2008 Carrera 4S. That thing has like 350-ish horsepower, but the chassis is just amazing. It's unbelievable. Granted, that one's four-wheel drive, but it has a similar feel to this, where it's just very twitchy. There's no body roll at all. The ride in this thing is pretty harsh, but it's just awesome. Like I said, it feels to me like this is a poor man's Porsche. The only Porsches I've ever driven or been in is that Carrera 4S, and then I've driven a 944 S model, which is the larger engine, 3-liter. And this feels very Porsche-like as far as handling and engine characteristics go. So this car has the 3.5-liter V6, VQ, obviously great engine, paired up with a 6-speed manual transmission, and it's just a fantastic combination. So far, I love the peppiness of the engine, I love the character it has, I love the sounds it makes. We're gonna go find my sweeping road up here, and much like in the Corolla video, let's hope that we don't run into a sheriff again. This thing is quick. I love it. The power delivery in this car is just so flat. You have power everywhere. So as soon as you're in the gas, you downshift. It's not like you gotta wind it out like a Honda engine. You can feel the torque from this V6 almost instantly, and that's a great feeling. I love it. It gives you kind of that push in your back, and the butt dyno tells me that I really like this car. Turn on to my favorite little back road here. See how she handles. Just glued to the road. Sweeping corner one. Corner number two. Woo! Slow down. I'm not going to tell you how fast we were just going, but this thing is awesome. You come out of the corner and you shift and it's just flat. It's just ready to rocket right out of there. Love the exhaust. Love how instant the throttle response is in this car. This thing is just fantastic. I love this. And sadly, I think these things don't get a lot of attention because it's a pretty common car, you know, and honestly, I've been thinking about this car, and this is in my option list. It's not like a GT500 or a VR4 for me. It's just not. It's a little too common, but I think that shouldn't discredit you for looking at these cars. If I found a good deal on one of these, would I buy one? Absolutely. Would I like it as much as having my VR4? Probably not. But this thing is awesome. And the nice thing about these, there's a huge aftermarket for these things, and they're easier to fix. If I get into my VR4, that thing's going to be a nightmare if and when I have issues. When? Because it's VR4, they have issues. This thing is going to be, it's a simpler platform. You're talking rear-wheel drive, naturally aspirated, and there's plenty of aftermarket goodies for these engines. You know, Nissan partnered with Renault in the early 2000s, and their quality really went to shit. But the engines are just, this engine is phenomenal. I love this car. The engine is still very Nissan to me. It feels great. I love the power. Like I said, it's just got a lot of personality to it. I drive this V6 and it reminds me of driving some of Honda's V6, the 3.5. They're just, I don't know what it is, they're just more fun. You can get motors from other companies that are similar in design, dual overhead cam. Obviously, most engines have variable valve timing these days, but they don't feel the same. This car just has a really nice personality to it, and I love that about it. I really appreciate it. Like I said, there's torque everywhere. Right now, we're sitting at about 3 grand, and even if I don't shift and I just step on it, there's power there right away. If I downshift, now we really got power. This car is just awesome. I love this. Obviously, they're not very expensive cars, and you get a hell of a platform for your money. The interior could look a little nicer, but it's I really like the layout of it. The gauges are nice to read. The steering wheel feels really good. I love this shifter. It feels very notchy. There's absolutely no slop in it at all. Very direct. Just all in all, a great package. If you're looking to get into a sports car, honestly, and I love Mustangs, I think I would have more fun in a car like this than I would, say, an early S197 Mustang. So I'm talking the 3-valve 4.6. Those cars are fun. I still like them. I'd love to have one, but they don't handle nearly as good as this does. You can make them handle, but out of the box, those Mustangs don't handle very nice at all. And you get similar power. This V6 puts out right around 300 horsepower, which is what that 3-valve 4.6 is rated at. So if I was cross-shopping one of those cars, I think this Nissan 350Z would be the car I would choose any day out of the week. Just one of those cars that you really enjoy driving. It's newer. It's new enough to where a lot of cars in this generation started to feel dead. They started to feel like they had no personality. This thing, the steering is great. You got a manual transmission, rear-wheel drive in the back, a good strong V6 in the front. It feels fantastic, and I really love the fact that there's still cars out there that let you drive them. They're not doing everything for you. And for that reason, let's talk about this car's bigger brother. We talk about the R35 GTR. It's great what they've accomplished with that car. I've never gotten to personally drive one, but that's not a car that I would ever want. I have no desire to have one of those cars because, well, the power is great and what they've been able to accomplish, like I said, is incredible. I don't want something with paddle shift. I don't want that. I want to be able to shift my own gears, and it's just too automated for me. And personally, I like rear-wheel drive better than all-wheel drive, just because it puts that scary factor into driving your car. It adds a little bit of skill. Do another roll on. God, this thing gets up in a hurry. I'm not going to tell you how fast that was, but I'll tell you this. If I'd got caught doing that, I'd lose my license. So that's enough of that. And we're in Mexico, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But yeah, this car is just great. Gets up and moves as soon as you want it to. It's just fantastic. Great job, Nissan. This car is amazing. I love driving it. Just a great driver's car. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short little review video. Huge thanks to my Uncle Mark for letting me review his car. Anytime you need help with it, you know I'm here to work on this thing for you. I love it. It's a great car. Guys, again, one more time before we leave, we're trying to reach a goal of 500 subscribers. So if you could help me out with that, I would greatly appreciate it. Drop me a comment down below, like, subscribe, share the video, get us to our 500 subscriber goal. If you share this video, if you subscribe, if you do anything to help us reach 500 subscribers, let me know in the comments below what you did, and I'm going to send you one of those decals, all right? Shift, wrench, repeat, you guys. We upload every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Thanks for watching. See you next time.